Plaintiff John Wick was raised in the projects by a single mom, and he fought a lot and got in a lot of trouble. John is suing because he claims the defendant's ex drove her car into his tenant's garage and damaged the door. Defendant Kaisha Johnson is a single mom of 3, and she's trying to start her own business. Kaisha admits that her ex agreed to fix the garage, but he was unable to do so because John's tenants threatened him.
Start with you.
Can I tell you a little bit about myself?
Sure.
I was raised by a single mom. I grew up in the projects.
What city?
Milwaukee, West Lawn and Carmen Village. And basically I was one of the only white kids in my area, in the projects. And I got into a lot of fights, got in a lot of trouble.
Bullied?
A little bit.
Because you were white?
You maybe could say that, yeah. Could have.
I think so. What was the majority, what was the percentage of white folks there?
I say 5% maybe.
Yeah, you were bullied because you were white, one of the reasons. Mm-hmm.
So with that all going on, I was in a very bad situation. My grandparents saw the situation that was going on and sort of stepped in and said, we got to get you out of that situation. I ended up moving in with my grandparents.
Where?
That was in Wauwatosa.
How far outside Milwaukee?
Just outside Milwaukee. Just outside Milwaukee.
Integrated or a diverse neighborhood or
Yeah,
overwhelming majority white?
Probably a little bit more white, yeah.
And so y'all jumped on black people when they came there. That's how it goes. Now, none of y'all can have this utopian idea and this colorblind idea and all that. But I'm telling you how it goes. I'm keeping it real. It has gotten better over the years. But I can tell you, I lived in the projects. When we moved out, I was 5. And it was 95% white.
Yep.
But because when black folks move in, other folks want to move out. Within 4 years, it was all black. But let me tell you what happened. They victimized me. When I went there at age 5, I didn't even know it. I thought my name was the N-word. And I thought it was my nickname on everything. The boys, the little kids, and I had to hear it from their mom and them in the household. And they would come to the window. And I might have told this story before. And I said, Mama, can I go play? Go on and play, boy. So I run downstairs, come on in, and let's shoot some marbles. Or whatever we do, give it to the N-word. So I don't know no difference. Until somebody say, they calling you what? So it happens on both sides, and that's why I kept zeroing in. You can say what you want. I think maybe a little, trying to spare my feelings or other black people's feelings. No, they got you because you were white. And they abused and taunted me because I was black, the white kids, when I moved out in the project. And that's the problem with segregation. We don't get to know each other. One of the biggest problems is trust. And people dislike what they don't know as well. So I'm saying that, folks, to understand what we saw. And it's because of the lack of trust, the lack of love, and the segregation that causes it. And when I say lack of love, that means racism. Because if you love, you're not a racist. They victimized me. When I went there at age 5, I didn't even know it. I thought my name was the N-word. And I thought it was my nickname on everything. The boys, the little kids, and I had to hear it from their mom and them in the household.
Plaintiff John Wick is suing the defendant because her ex drove her car into his tenant's garage and damaged the door.
You give me some background. Where you from?
Well, I'm born in Chicago. I left here when I was about 12 because my mom wanted a better life for us. So we went to Milwaukee. It was a little better, just a little bit. I graduated, had my first baby at 20, and I'm a single parent of 3. And I'm trying to start my own business, maybe 2. but it's kind of rough when you're just doing it all by yourself.
What type of preparation do you have?
I've been to school for it. I do hair on the side of actually having a job because it's not a lot. I have enough clients to try to maintain, but I have to work too with it. So
Good. That's a good strategy, keeping your day job while you work towards your own business.
yeah, I'm trying to do that, and in the process, wondering or trying to work with other people if they have, better business ventures than I'm having. I'll try to get in on that if I can.
All right. And what he suing you for? You didn't mess with him too, did you?
I personally,
No. Huh?
no, I personally
okay.
didn't do
Black
anything.
women are a little more sophisticated. they don't usually do that.
I didn't do that.
She was one of them, Judge. I'm still traumatized by it. All right. Damaged property. How does he owe you for that? What happened?
$1,610 for a new garage door.
What happened?
Basically, what happened was I got a call from my tenant. The friends or Mrs. Johnson's ex was working on the brakes. We have an alley, and the alley, they were working on the brake, fixing her van right across the alley. Well, anyway, Mrs. Johnson's ex was working on the brakes, was checking the brakes, I believe, and ran into my garage, knocked the garage door off, knocked the garage door onto my tenant's car.
Whose car was it?
It was my tenant's car.
No, the car with the brakes that went out.
It was Mrs. Johnson's.
That's what I'm asking.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
So it backed into it. I will say one thing. I appreciated that when that happened, the owner of the place across the street took everybody up there and talked to my tenant and said, this is what happened on the garage door. They didn't run off or anything like that. They told him that. My tenant went out there, looked at it. Obviously, he was upset with the garage door on his thing. I said, just call the police and then get a police report and get it all figured out what happened. When the police came, her ex ran off and left the scene and told somebody else to tell them that they were driving. Later we found out that I guess he was on, I shouldn't say I guess, he was on parole. So he left the scene, so the police report that they got was somebody else that did it. And then when the police were there, Mrs. Johnson showed up and said, I'll take care of the car and I'll take care of the garage. We'll fix it, we'll get it right, because I don't have insurance.
All right, and she has not given
What?
you anything? Has she given you anything?
No, she paid for my tenant's car, $1,900 in damage.
Ma'am?
I'm gonna just say this. Mr. John Wick here isn't a hitman at all, but he's not shy of being someone who's shady.
How so?
Because I did offer to get everything fixed and make sure everybody had it. Me and him had a verbal agreement that I make sure that the tenant's car is fixed, and my ex makes sure that his garage is fixed. In the process of his garage all of that being fixed, because he did contact me probably a day or so later after the incident happened, because they did call me. My ex did not flee the scene. He was there. I was there. I had a conversation. He wasn't there. I had a conversation with the tenant's girlfriend because he wasn't out there. It was her vehicle. I told her, I said, well, whatever it costs, I'll get it fixed. And I said, when you get a chance, have your landlord contact me so that we can get something situated. She says, okay. So when I spoke with him, we had an agreement. We made a verbal agreement that my ex would fix the garage.
Did he?
No, he didn't. And
Okay,
the
so
reason
you broke the agreement.
Right. The reason he didn't is because the tenants that were there, something transpired when I wasn't there, where they couldn't communicate. They were very combative and threatening.
That's a terrible thing.
Yeah.
Why don't you think you should have to pay?
Because of the verbal agreement he had with my ex.
You didn't keep it. It was broken.
It was broken because of his tenants.
Because of what?
Because of his tenants. They threatened him the last time he went to fix the
You don't have
garage.
anything to do with that.
We spoke to
You don't
him
have
about
anything
it.
to do with what his tenant does. Your boyfriend on parole, the shady one, the real shady one, that's the one. He on parole. You on parole? You been on parole? She called you shady. No, the one on parole, the one that run off and got you paying his bills.
Plaintiff John Wick is suing the defendant because her ex drove her car into his tenant's garage and damaged the door.
$1,610. A man damaged your property, she agreed to pay it, and he ran off. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I just want to say I was trying to get a hold of you, and I appreciate you standing
I
up.
don't appreciate nothing because you wouldn't have brung me here. Just like y'all had that agreement, y'all could have worked that out outside of me. I tried to do my part. That wasn't good enough. I wasn't even there. I didn't do the damage. The only thing I was wrong in is it being in my name. It was getting serviced. The person that should have been sued is the person that actually did it. I was not there. You were not there. And that's fine. Whatever this is it is what it is. I don't have to deal with you anymore, and you don't have to deal with me anymore. That's fine.